ESPN didn't want to show the ratings were down from WNBA All-Star Game because Caitlin Clark didn't play, so they just used the 2023 numbers instead. People noticed it.
Woo! WNBA All-Star Game sees ratings drop without Caitlin Clark, and it's ugly.
But, like, it is another situation of pretending like Caitlin Clark doesn't exist. Because every single, like, comment is gonna, response, people's like, oh, people out here saying that people wouldn't watch without Caitlin. It's literally down 40% without Caitlin.
You're not gonna believe what ESPN just did. They tried to spin the WNBA All-Star Game ratings into a success story, even though the truth is, the numbers were a disaster without Caitlin Clark. But now, they've been caught red-handed manipulating the data, and fans are not letting it slide.
You see, this is exactly what we were talking about. WNBA All-Star ratings are in for 2025, and it is down 40%. 40% from last year.
This wasn't just a ratings drop. It was a 36% nosedive from last year.
I agree. ESPN lying again.
From 3.4 million viewers in 2024 down to just 2.2 million. But instead of owning it, ESPN tried to cover it up by comparing this year to 2023. Why? Because 2023 didn't have Caitlin Clark in the league yet.
Congratulations. 1.25 million viewers tuned out. 1,250,000 viewers.
And by skipping over last year's record-breaking numbers, they created a fake illusion of growth. Think about this. The game was held in Caitlin's own home arena in Indianapolis. This should have been a celebration, a coronation of the WNBA's biggest star. Instead, it turned into an empty, underwhelming spectacle. And the second fans found out Caitlin wouldn't be playing because of injury, ticket prices collapsed nearly 50%.
I mean, it's nasty. It's nasty, guys. It's nasty.
And fans across social media announced their personal boycotts.
WNBA, and this should be a wake-up call. This should be a straight-up wake-up call.
That's not a coincidence. That's Caitlin Clark's power in full effect. Here's where it gets shady. ESPN promoted the 2025 All-Star Game as a massive success, saying viewership was up 158% from 2023. But why didn't they mention 2024's numbers, the real benchmark? Because in 2024, the game hit 3.4 million viewers with Clark. But in 2025, without her, they lost over 1 million viewers. This wasn't just a drop. This was a free fall. And ESPN thought you wouldn't notice.
ESPN didn't want to show the ratings were down from WNBA All-Star Game because Caitlin Clark didn't play, so they just used the 2023 numbers.
Even ESPN's own journalists couldn't stomach the lie. Christine Brennan called it out on Twitter. Austin Karp from Sports Business Journal dropped the stats that ESPN refused to include. Caitlin Clark equals ratings. No Clark, no viewers. This wasn't fan speculation. It was backed by cold, hard numbers. ESPN didn't just omit data. They manipulated it to protect their investment. This isn't about one All-Star game. This is about a league in denial. The WNBA has been leaning on Clark for attendance, merchandise, and TV deals. She sells out arenas. She moves merchandise. She is the momentum. But the second she was sidelined, everything crashed. From ratings to ticket sales to the local economy in Indianapolis. Restaurants, hotels, even souvenir vendors felt the impact. That's not hype. That's real economic value. And let's not forget, ESPN isn't just a broadcaster. They're financially invested in the WNBA. That's why this cover-up is so dangerous. When the people responsible for reporting the truth are also trying to sell you a product, how can we trust what we're being told? ESPN used their platform to prop up a lie. That the All-Star Game was growing, that the league was thriving, when in reality, it's surviving on one player. All season, ESPN couldn't stop praising Clark. She's the reason for record viewership. She's revolutionizing women's basketball. But the moment things went south, suddenly, Clark doesn't matter? Now it's, no one player is bigger than the league? You can't have it both ways. Either she's a game changer or she isn't. And the truth is, without her, the numbers speak for themselves. The All-Star Game flopped. That's bad enough. But ESPN's manipulation has deeper consequences. The WNBA players are in the middle of a critical collective bargaining push. They're fighting for better pay, citing growing viewership as leverage. But when ESPN downplays the drop-off, they undermine the entire negotiation. They make it seem like nothing changed, when in fact, everything changed the second Clark was ruled out. So here's the million-dollar question. Can the WNBA stand without Caitlin Clark? Right now, it doesn't look like it. Other stars aren't moving the needle. The MVP dropped 36 points in the All-Star Game and nobody cared. Ratings didn't budge. Merch didn't fly off shelves. The league's identity crisis is real. And ESPN is so afraid of the truth, they're willing to lie. If ESPN truly supports women's sports, they need to stop cherry-picking numbers. Tell the whole story. Don't downplay Caitlin Clark's impact. Don't insult fans by pretending they didn't notice. This is bigger than spin. It's about credibility. You can't build a league on one player and then pretend she doesn't matter when things get inconvenient. The fans know what's up. The journalists know what's up. Even ESPN's own team knows what's up. You can manipulate the numbers, but you can't fake loyalty. Caitlin Clark isn't just a player. She's the foundation of the WNBA right now. And if that makes the league uncomfortable, maybe it's time for some honest reflection instead of more PR tricks. Because real growth doesn't need deception. If you believe Caitlin Clark is the WNBA's true superstar, type needle mover in the comments. Smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss the truth behind the headlines. Click the video on the screen to keep going deeper, and I'll see you in the next one.